All right. Finished the one crossover fuel line, which is a 8AN. So if you look down in there, there's your 8AN fitting with the fuel line. A little freight there, but it's fine. It's still braided underneath there anyways. That goes down and through and over here to this side, and it's in. Now I started on the cylinder head steam lines. And that's this line here, which is a 4AN. So you got that bolts down into the hole in the cylinder head, which is for radiator fluid, steam. And I bought a kit with the fittings and everything that's supposed to, well, it was for a fast intake manifold, so it's a little different than this. But it kind of goes over here, the lengths comes down here to a T and to the next fitting into the cylinder head. Then from there over to here, straight. So you got a 45 there. Over here, no, that's a 90. This is a 45. Here's a 90. And then tees out into a straight and goes over to, I guess they call it 120 degree, which I don't like how that is because hose sticks way out. So I can cut them and refit them and do them different, which I'm probably going to. I just wanted to fit this all. And then from there, it's said to put a straight on this sucker and go to the front, but that is not going to work. So I put it backwards as far as the hoses and the fittings that are on. They're already pre-made. Anyway, I put a 90 on there, or 90, and that goes to the front. And they made this thing too long down to a straight right there. So I'm going to be cutting that, and it's going to go down in that fitting that's, of course, down in there. And it'll be a 45, so it'll angle in like the other front one. And then I've got another one here. I got to figure out which one it's going to be. This one goes out to the radiator. And that's this one that I got laying down here with an end on it with a hose clamp to plug into a bung or whatever that's on the radiator. So we'll see how that works too. Might not be long enough, I'm not sure. That'll have to be done when the car is in the, or the engine is in the car. But that's basically where I'm at on this. I did get the right adapter and right, or I should say, the right oil filter for PF48 for the Holley nipple that goes into the oil pan, the Holley oil pan. A regular, say if you were buying one for this, an LS1 engine, the oil filter hole is too small and won't bolt onto this nipple for the Holley oil pan. So I figured out which oil filter goes in there, and I'm now going to mount that in down there. I'm not going to take a video of that. That's pretty straightforward. It just goes right down there. So I'll put that in with a little plumber's tape or whatever you want to call it. Seal it up, drop that sucker in there. No oil filter will be put in place. So that's where I'm at right now. I think here soon, might start putting the wiring harness on it. I got to prime the engine oil. Once I get that oil filter on, and make sure there's nothing else that needs to be plugged with oil. And I've got a pump and all that. And that bung right there, that little fitting, pull that out. I've got a fitting for it, screw in there. I've got a pump and everything. I can pump oil in there and pump it through the whole engine. I got to get a dipstick and a dipstick tube as well. I got to tighten fittings as for sensors. My water temperature sensor right there. I got to tighten that down so that don't leak. What else? Well, that's it. Start wiring it here soon. But I got to get all the loose ends tightened up. And prime the engine. Oh, I also got to put supercharger oil in this, which I have. Fill that up. It's empty right now, so it's brand new. And there it says, the supercharger has no oil. Fill supercharger with oil per instructions, which I have the oil that came with this. I'll fill it up here soon too. So that has oil. And then from there I'll start 8 AN lines from this fuel rail and this fuel rail to go to the fuel cell that I have and fuel pump. That'll be enough out of the way, I believe, to get that fitting on there for the fuel line. Should be okay. So just kind of running through some of the things I still have to do. But I'm going to refit those those vent lines, steam vent lines, a little better. This is just too much. The kit doesn't really. They give you extra, but this is a little bit too much extra. So I'll just take those fittings off, cut the line, make it shorter. No big deal. They're pretty easy to do. So, but that one's just like way long. This sucker here is supposed to go down on that freaking fitting right there. Yeah, right. It's got to be a 45 too. So I've got other fittings. So I've got several other 4AN fittings. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. See ya.